My family were criminals. Okay, I'll give you an example. My grandfather, I can't even make dua for him because his dad, Uncle, how sad is that? He married my grandmother back in 1944, I think. Okay? A white woman in Toronto. Imagine a black Jamaican man walking in downtown Toronto in the early 40s and no one can touch him. Why? Because he was dirty. He was gangster. He had a white woman on his arm. And my father came from the marriage. My grandparents were married. My parents were married. All my children, they all come from noble lineage in the Christian religion. So we have a noble lineage for those people. So he used to sell moonshine. Anybody know what moonshine is?
Mm-hmm.
You know what moonshine is, Sheikh? Come sit up here in the front. I want to see you, Sheikh. Come. Give me inspiration. Actually, come sit up here. Come sit up here. I want you to get the front row, man.
Beyonce.
Front row. Assalamu alaikum, Akir. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, strong. Assalamu alaikum. Not much deeper. Deeper. No, listen. This is really important. Assalamu alaikum. No, that's not bad. That's a good start. Yeah. How you feeling? Never take any drinks from any strangers. Ever. You know what? People can put something in your drink, and you drink it. Tipsy. You don't want to do that. Take no drinks from it. What's your name, Jeff? Yassine. I think you need to be a little bit more mean. Be mean. Don't be smiling too much. No, don't smile that much. See, unless you know somebody, you should be like this. How you doing? That's your little face? All right, you got you. That's it. All right, y'all brothers, come sit up here in the front. Come sit up here in the front. You guys got my money? You got my money? You got my money? Okay, come sit up here in the front. All the young brothers sit up in the front. All right. So, we got to that part. Here's the story. That was good for me, but it almost destroyed my life. 1991, I'm going to Humber College. I'm studying public relations. Does that sound like something I'm already in already? Public relations, I'm good with the public. 1991, I just accepted Islam. I'm wearing a white one of these, white, pure white. And I bump into a Muslim brother. I don't want to say what country he's from. And he sees me a couple times in the hall, and he says to me, Assalamu alaikum. I said, wa alaikum salam. He said, how you doing, brother? I'm like, good. A couple weeks go by, I see him again. Assalamu alaikum. So then, I'm like, me and him, we start talking. And he says to me, hey, brother, what are you studying? I said, I'm studying public relations. I'm like, oh, well. He goes, do you have a job? I said, yeah, I have a job now. I'm only Muslim for about 3-4 months. I don't know nothing. Just learning Islam, just barely learning it. He says to me, brother, what do you do for a living? What do you do? I said, I work at the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. Say Liquor Control Board. Liquor Control Board. LCBO, anybody heard that? This is where they sell the alcohol all across the city. So you know what his response is? It's haram! It's haram! For you to sell alcohol, it's haram! If you continue, and like he's really like, vibrant. If you continue to sell alcohol, you will go to the hellfire. I'm a new Muslim. Now, if you just accepted Islam, you're trying not to go where?
Hellfire.
You're trying not to go to the hellfire. So I got scared. I was like, oh my gosh, really? It's haram. I don't know nothing. Right? And he never taught a principle, which is important. I just learned this principle 2 years ago. I learned this new principle in a science called Quad 50. Anybody say any Quad 50 here? No? Okay, there's a principle called al-mashakkatu at-tajlibu at-taysir. That hardship facilitates ease. So right after that, guess what I did the very next day?
You quit your job.
I went to the Liquor Board of Ontario, and I told the lady that my father hired 19 years before that, because my dad was a senior auditor for the LCBO. He retired with the gold watch, 29 years. That's how my father made his money. Okay? My father hired her. She looked me in the face when I told her what Are you sure you want to give up your job? Are you crazy? Are you not happy with making $13.71? That's in 1991. Think about how much that job's worth now. That's like almost $35 an hour. I signed, I quit, came home to my dad and said, Dad, I'm happy. Man is in my heart. Stop for a while, I don't want to go to hellfire. Father, I quit my job at the liquor store. My dad told me, you mother jam, house. He kicked me out of the house. Where's that brother that? Did he say, brother, I know what's that name. Come to my house, brother. Come live with us, brother. You're Islam, so good, brother. Come, you're so pure, you did it for the sake of Allah. Come live with us. Oh, brother, mashallah, we're going to give you some food too, brother. Because now you have no way to earn any money right now to get you a new job. Did you do that? He gave me advice, which is good advice, which is Islamic advice, but he didn't give it to me in the right way. This brother was hafiz of Quran. He can quote the Quran all day long, but now the advice that he gave me, I got kicked out of my house. I quit my job. My car broke down 2 weeks later, I was testing me, and I had to drop out of college. I'm a college dropout! Can you imagine that I dropped out of college? And I'm still very successful? Alhamdulillah. I dropped out of college, I'm a college dropout. Just like
I'm gonna drop out too.
Yeah, it's true. And Allah blessed me to get 2 scholarships. One scholarship to the University of Medina, and another scholarship to the University of Azhar. But because I had some other issues in my life, I wasn't able to go and take those scholarships. Because you know what? Sometimes you don't need academic, scholastic. You just gotta have some personality. Charisma, brother. Charisma! Say that word. Don't say it loud. Charisma! Right. It's pretty good. See how this is hands-on training that you see. See? 5-10 years from now, this brother will be pumping weights and mashallah. Right? How old are you now? 13. Okay, inshallah. I want you to be big and strong. I want you to lift weights. I want you to take some kung fu and all that kind of stuff, alright?
Karate Kid.
And then maybe after that, then you can marry a Beyonce in hijab. Alright? Then you can look at that Beyonce. But don't
Inshallah.
Look at Meek Mill and Drake and all these guys fighting and yelling and screaming at each other. But look at the brothers of the Sunnah. They're the brothers of the Sunnah. Brothers of the Sunnah, they follow the Sunnah of the Prophet Sunnah. Those are the people you should be looking at. Sheikh Bilal and other brothers like that. So inshallah, in concluding, one of the last things that was very traumatic for me, age of 20, closest person to me at that time was my grandfather. So I'm given Stanley, and my grandfather's name is Stanford. So Stanford had 3. How many?
3.
3. How many?
3.
He had 3 heart attacks. His heart blew up. Heart attack number 1. They rushed him to the hospital. They sewed back up his heart. A couple years went by again. His heart blew out again. They rushed him to the hospital. They sewed back up his heart. 3rd time, 1991. His heart blew out again. Died. He died in Islam. That time I wasn't knowledgeable enough to have an intellectual discussion with my grandfather. My grandfather was a leader. So to be able to talk to someone like that, you gotta be gangster too. You gotta be able to be on the level. You understand? But there's 50 years difference. So what am I gonna tell my grandfather? He grew up in a time where he could walk around the city with a white woman on his arm and no one could touch him. So I wasn't able to give him dawah and he died on kufr. You know how hard that was for me to see my grandfather in the grave and have Islam? My father is sick right now. He's got Alzheimer's. He's got the early, what do you call it? I'm not here with medical sisters. They just diagnosed him as having Alzheimer's. The early signs of Alzheimer's. And I'm asking every day, oh Allah, guide my father and guide my mother too. So everybody say,
Ameen.
Sheikh, you didn't say Ameen. You love me? You love me? Okay, come to Come on, here. So Sonic. Welcome up here.
I'm so happy I'm recording this.
VIP service. Up here with the big boys. Big boys, alright. How you doing? What's your name? Who? Who? Say, Amen. Just don't be looking at nobody else. Amen. Say it loud. Amen. And look me in my eye. Look me in my eye. Look me in my eye when you say it. Ask me my name. Ask me my name. Man, my name is Abu Shahada. You see, I'm proud of who I am. And I'll tell the whole world who I am. It's confidence. Confidence. What's the word I said? Confidence, sisters, is a powerful word. If you as a Muslim don't have confidence in this land, your Islam will go to the wayside. Trust me. Trust me. Some sisters that I know, some brothers that I know that were practicing Islam 5-6 years ago that was telling Sheikh Abu. These same brothers and these same sisters, a friend of mine was showing me their Facebook status just the other day. These good, pure sisters, these good, pure brothers. 5-6 years later, yet while they're in the club getting tipsy, drinking, and getting their turn up on. Or is it turn down? Which one is that? What does that mean? What does turn up mean? What does turn up mean? Now listen, I like to turn up too, but I like different turn ups. I like to go to the shawarma store and they have eight little things. They're called turn ups. I tell them, put a lot of those into my shawarma. That's the turn up that I grew up with. Your turn up is what? What do you got to do to turn up? How often do you turn up? Better not be turning up. You're turning your head to the ground. Dude, that's one thing I want to see you guys do. So, inshallah ta'ala, my dear brothers and sisters, my last thing I wanted to say to you is that Islam is extremely important. Anybody's iman gets weak, put up your hand. See, some brothers, they don't got their hands up, man. Sisters, you don't got your hands up. Whose iman gets weak? Everybody, they should put up their hand. Okay, stand up if your iman gets weak. Some sisters aren't standing up. Okay, so the people beside you, I want you to look at them, okay? When your iman gets weak, what do you need to have, everybody sit down? You need to have some friends. As the Prophet was saying, as the Prophet said, Ar-Rajulu, say Ar-Rajulu. What does that mean? A man! Wal-Mar'u, or a person. Ar-Rajulu ala dini ala khalilihi. That a person is on the religion of their friend. So look, the Prophet said, so look to see who you take as your right. Also, the Prophet said, La tasahib illa mu'minan. Do not accompany anybody except a believer. And the great poet, I will end it with this, inshallah ta'ala, he said, Kulli man tusahib aqul laka man anta. He said, look, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So this brother here and this brother here, I don't gotta know anything about them. I just gotta know that they hang out with these brothers in the Sunnah. You guys are brothers in the Sunnah, right? Are you in the Sunnah? Say inshallah. Alright. Are you on the Bid'ah? No! Say no. So you got that class on Sunnah Bid'ah. So inshallah ta'ala, we have our beautiful guest, Sheikh Yassine and Sheikh. Anybody want to ask some questions, inshallah? You guys ready to answer some questions? Okay, anybody have any questions for me? How much time I got, Sheikh?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Okay, I got 15 minutes. Anybody have any questions for us? Anybody want to comment on anything? No questions? Yes, sir.
What happened after you turned 21? I mean, you already converted, but you stopped after like 20 years old. MashaAllah.
They told me that